Hey, it's Owen here from Urbane Cyclist. We have a fun little update from Ortlieb today. We're going to be taking a quick first look at the new updated QL 2.2 mounting system. So before we dig into the update, we're going to show a little bit of the current system. So this bag may look a little familiar. We did a little video about the update to the external pocket, but we're going to focus today on the QL or quick lock system. So a little overview of the quick lock system. So this is all adjustable without tools, which is great. It's super easy to change. You may remember the QL1 system, which did require Allen keys. I personally think the QL2 system, really great. You can see this lower hook. This is not the primary portion, but we'll cover this first. So this is just keeping the bag from swaying off the rack. So what this can do, you can move it. If you loosen this a little more, this can rotate, and then you can tighten it into place exactly where you like it. The main kind of meat of the actual bag is going to be this upper portion here. And you'll notice if you take a look, it's actually fully encloses. Fully enclosed, spring-loaded hooks. The thing I love about these is when you actually lift them, they naturally open just from the weight of the bag. So once you install it on a rack, you release it, it's going to lock it right on. From new, sometimes I recommend giving a little push just to make sure it really locks on. But with a couple uses, usually that's going to be nice and snug. So a little quick demonstration. Here we have a rack. I'm just gonna loosely display, just like so. I haven't adjusted this at all. You may notice it does have some play, and that's due to the fact that the QL 2.1 system, as well as the QL1 system, actually relies on some shims. So we'll quickly demonstrate our shim technique. So I do need a rack for this. So there's a series of shims that do come in these bags. They are labeled. I have quickly checked here, so this is the 10 millimeter. So the way I like to check is just basically put it on, make sure it feels snug, it moves freely, doesn't have much play, just like so. All the tubing's the same. So to install this, what we need to do is just open there. You're gonna take your shim and slide it in. Now we've shimmed it, we've popped it on. That's great. So at this point, I can adjust back and forth or fore and aft for where I want these to sit. I can also reach in here and choose where I want this lower hook to sit. Nice, quick, and easy. We like it. Nothing wrong with that. But we have an update, the 2.2. So what's different in the 2.2? So here we see the same bag, just a different color. But this is where the magic happens. So starting from the bottom again, this lower hook here is a little different. It's got this kind of triangle shape, which is honestly really ergonomic to pinch with 3 fingers, so it's much easier to loosen. You'll also notice, listen, a little more kind of positive engagement. It actually feels quite a bit firmer, which I personally really like. The actual guiding rail is the same. If you look closely, it's a little hard to tell with the shadows and the light. It's actually two-tone. It's the same as this. We're gonna see gray, which is a slightly softer compound, and then the black, which is the firmer compound, the same as all this. If you look closely, this hook is also replicating that same thing. So you're gonna adjust it, choose where you want it, tighten it up, and anywhere this lower hook is gonna mount onto your rack, it's gonna be a slightly less chattery experience because you actually have a softer, it's a little hard to tell, but you can hear the kind of tone difference. It actually sounds different, a little higher pitch on the black, a little lower pitch on the gray. So very subtle, but also better ergonomics. Nothing to kind of complain about. The upper portion, kind of the main function of this quick lock system. I will note, quick release here, it's pretty stiff, which that's a pro and a con, but the solution is just use a simple little tire lever. I prefer plastic for this. Just push it under and open it up. This is really the kind of thing you're only gonna do once in a blue moon. You're gonna maybe adjust it for a bag, maybe a rack, or maybe kind of find the sweet spot between 2 racks and just settle on that. It's not something you're gonna be changing every day. This is, honestly, it feels really robust, which I think is a good upgrade. I suspect that will loosen a little with time, and that's my experience of most of these quick lock systems. They tend to loosen up gently over time. They get a little more user-friendly with time. But where's the main difference? The main difference is specifically this. This shim, no longer necessary. So we still do maintain that really nice full closure, but what we have now is this little lock system. If you look closely, it's actually marked. It's sized just like the shims were, and it has a little marking. You open it up where you want it, and you close it again. So for our purpose here, I believe we're kind of on the smaller range. So we've adjusted that to the smaller range, and we'll just do a quick little adjustment. And oh, that's even tighter. It feels great. Really, really positive engagement. Here we can reach in there, adjust that lower portion. You can slide that around. One thing I like to point out with the quick lock system is there isn't only one way to adjust these. Because that top rail is very adjustable, even on a bike with a short wheelbase, you can often adjust the actual bag to sit further back if you require further heel clearance. So this feels super snug. I would actually argue this is more adjustable because you have that sliding scale. The final note I will say about this is they actually do give you the option to tension this. So I call this kind of a T-bar style mount. This little piece is actually metal. So the metal portion is like the nut. And if you look at the top, it actually does have that same screw interface we're used to seeing. So you can get away with a flathead screwdriver or a Torx bit. I blank on what size that is, might be a T10, I believe. But yeah, super easy to adjust, really robust. Kind of has all the greatest hits of the previous generation, but with some really nice and thoughtful updates. So what do you think about that new QL 2.2 system? I think it's a really great jump in the right direction. I have numerous bikes, numerous different racks. This is quicker and easier to change, and I don't have to sacrifice kind of the great functionality of the bag to choose the perfect setup for one rack. I can have it kind of set up easily on the fly with minimal kind of tools. That is the QL 2.2 from Ortlieb. Just hit myself in the face.